Hello everyone and welcome to my YNR 24 spoilers. Confrontation, Prince Charming, SOS. Some significant events are hinted at in the Young and the Restless teasers for Thursday, September 18th. A Prince Charming does what he does best, which is to charm the living daylights out of someone. Someone sends out an SOS, and two unexpected characters face off. What can we expect from Thursday's performance? It's time to find out. Here are our weekly YNR spoilers, so be sure to check them out. Jack Abbott's SOS. According to Thursday, September 18 spoilers for the Young and the Restless, Jack Abbott will seek some help from Victoria Newman. He seems to be asking her for assistance with Billy Abbott, but would she accept to aid given what Billy has planned? Vicky and Billy will always have a special bond, but she prefers to keep to herself when it comes to business and her father's competitors. Victor Newman. Read this. Week of September, 22nd spoilers for the Young and the Restless. Audra's epic failure, Claire's inability to refrain, and Michael's warning signs. Lily Winters is charmed by Kane Ashby. Lily Winters will be seduced by Kane Ashby across town, and even though she was repeatedly stung by her ex, it seems like Lily will fall for what Kane has in store. Is she ever going to learn? Kane recently asked Billy, Sally Spectra, and Phyllis Summers to do his dirty job for him using that dubious AI program. So his claim that he is cleaning up his act is mere rhetoric. Billy has a scheme of his own, and Sally declined to participate, but will this plot backfire on Kane? Will it be discovered by Lily? Daniel and Mariah Copeland face off. Finally, according to Thursday's teasers for the Young and the Restless, Mariah Copeland will confront Daniel about Tessa Porter. Although they share Tessa, Mariah and Daniel aren't typically in each other's spheres of influence. It sounds like Mariah would ask Daniel to watch over her wife while she receives treatment, but she is unaware that Daniel has feelings for Tessa. Or has she? Is there a chance she will confront him about this? Which plot point in Thursday's program are you most excited about? Tell us what you think. For the finest Young and the Restless news, spoilers, and updates, watch the CBS serial opera every day and visit SOS frequently. Kane's irresistible charm, Mariah versus Daniel, and Jack's appeal. There are spoilers for Thursday, September 18th, 2025 on The Young and the Restless. Fans may anticipate Daniel Jr. being confronted by Mariah Copeland, Cameron Grimes. Lily Winters is charmed by Kane Ashby in the meanwhile. Let's discuss what will happen in the upcoming episode of the CBS soap opera as you continue reading. The charm of Kane Ashby. Kane will postpone his intentions in order to attend to some personal matters following the contentious exchange with Billy Abbott, Jason Thompson. Kane is able to win Lily over. It's debatable if she will truly purchase this charm. Lily made it plain that she detested Kane following the incident in Nice. But Victor Newman also recommended that Lily approach Kane to learn more about his intentions. Kane may therefore believe that he is effectively wooing his ex-wife. Read more. Discover the events of YNR's most recent episode. Jack Abbott's request. Jack Abbott is going crazy about Sally Spectra's shocking revelation. That is also his brother, despite the fact that he informed Sally that Billy is alone. Jack will therefore do everything in his power to save him. That might be the reason Jack asks Victoria Newman for assistance. Victoria is aware that this is a serious situation, but she and Billy are no longer very close. Will he actually pay attention to her then? Read this. Spoilers for the Young and the Restless. Nick is still unmarried. Is Sharon still interested? The message from Mariah Copeland. According to Thursday, September 18 spoilers for the Young and the Restless, Mariah will message Daniel. He should keep it a secret from Tessa Porter, and the redhead will want to meet him in private. Despite his confusion, Daniel consents to meet with her. Mariah's intention to approach Daniel regarding Tessa is hinted at, but Mariah was the one who abandoned her family. Mariah's insistence that Daniel distance himself from Tessa and Aria Porter Copeland would be quite bold. Watch this. Young and the Restless. 2 weeks of spoilers, September 15th to 26th. Holden and Claire's risk and Jack's crazy call. Meanwhile, Mariah may tell Daniel what she truly done and ask him to just allow her some time to turn her life around. Daniel can find himself in a moral bind as a result of anything Mariah tells him. Tessa had previously been informed by Mariah that she attempted to murder a man. Given that the man lived, could he be threatening to reveal Mariah's identity? Is that why discussing what she did with others is not safe? Keep checking back, because it looks like this plot is just getting started. On Thursday, September 18th, 2025, which narrative are you most excited to see? Post your ideas in the space provided for comments below. To find out what happens next, keep watching the soap opera on CBS or Paramount+. Billy refuses, Victor targets 3 minions, and Kane makes a cunning request. According to Wednesday, September 17th spoilers for The Young and the Restless, YNR, Victor Newman is honing his intimidation techniques, while Kane Ashby wants something from Billy Abbott, Jason Thompson. On Wednesday, we see Kane lounging in his opulent caboose, sure that Billy will wreck Victor to do his dirty work for him. Let's investigate the tactics used by these powerful individuals to outdo one another. Kane exudes confidence. Kane is relying on Billy to subdue Victor with his unique, super-duper AI program. Billy's affirmation that he wishes to conduct business is the only thing lacking. Though he might use charm to persuade Billy to comply. Kane being Kane, he weasels in one more demand. Kane wants what? He wants Billy and his mother, Jill Abbott, to reconcile. Kane wants Jill to live comfortably and not have to worry about Billy Boy, since he has a soft place for her. Is Billy able to put things right? Billy, however, objects since he is still bitter that Jill sold Chancellor to Victor and ignored him. Billy is unhappy with Jill and Kane's relationship. Will he let his small-minded envy to prevent them from reconciling? In another scene, OG Victor plans the destruction of 3 adversaries. Billy, Kane, and Jack Abbott are the subjects of our conversation. Jack meets with Nikki Newman at the same time to warn her about the impending catastrophe in Genoa City. Jack is concerned about Kane's plan, Victor's strategy, and Billy being used as a test subject. Will Nikki believe that something is wrong? Although she dislikes Victor pursuing their pals, she is unable to stop him. What takes place in GC next? Nikki might ask Victor for details after the meeting. However, as we previously stated, Victor Newman's enormous agenda and full head of steam make it difficult for one individual to stop him. According to explosive spoilers for The Young and the Restless, Victor and Jack will eventually work together, but first Nikki has a lot of work ahead of her. Make sure to keep up with all of the current events on The Young and the Restless. For the most recent YNR news, spoilers, and updates, return frequently. Sit back and enjoy the greatest soap opera information available online. Jack Abbott's SOS, a risky request and a brother's desperation. As soon as Young and the Restless spoilers hinted that Jack Abbott would issue an SOS, loyal watchers realized this was no ordinary cry for assistance. Jack Abbott has experienced enough betrayals, boardroom conflicts, and personal heartbreaks to understand that extending oneself entails exposing oneself, and he avoids showing weakness unless it is absolutely necessary. In a decision that almost everyone in Genoa City finds surprising, Jack will swallow his pride and turn to Victoria Newman on Thursday, September 18th. Jack is once again being drawn into perilous situations by his worry about Billy Abbott. Jack's affection for his brother remains unwavering despite Billy's frequent episodes of self-destruction. Jack is always there with a safety net when things go tough, even if he may chastise Billy, lecture him, and threaten to wash his hands of his carelessness. The main focus of Jack's SOS is his concern that Billy is hurtling toward catastrophe, partially due to Kane Ashby's manipulation and partially due to Billy's own voracious hunger for danger. Jack is aware of Billy's shortcomings, including his need for approval, his obsession with outsmarting Victor Newman, and his incessant drive to uphold the family tradition. But Victoria Newman makes things more complicated. She is in a unique position to connect with Billy in ways that Jack cannot because of their romantic past, their bond as co-parents, and their intermittent professional relationships. However, asking Victoria to step in runs the risk of entangling her in disputes that she has assiduously avoided. After Billy's self-destructive choices and excessive gambling almost destroyed them, both their professions and reputations, Victoria has spent years trying to separate herself from his mess. She has made a commitment to keep her personal life apart from the men who draw her into risky rivalries on a regular basis. Jack's plea, nevertheless, might put her determination to the test. How could she turn around when her children's father might be going directly into Cain's trap, or worse, right into Victor's crosshairs? Family loyalty is not the only theme of this SOS plot. It's about Jack trying to stop history from happening again. He recalls how Delia's memory was once destroyed by Billy's downward cycles, how gambling almost caused him to go bankrupt, and how careless grudges have cost him stability and relationships. Jack is aware that nothing can stop Billy when he is driven by pride and rage. Jack is effectively placing a wager by contacting Victoria, the only person who truly knows Billy, that she might be able to sow the seed of reason before the mayhem blows up. The risk, however, is that Victoria Newman has her own allegiances, to her father Victor, to Newman Enterprises, and to the empire she has laboriously cultivated. Would she be prepared to side with Jack against Victor in order to assist Billy? Will she interpret Jack's SOS as a desperate call that warrants an answer, or as just another avid entanglement she would be better off avoiding? In order to prepare for possible alliances and betrayals that might have weeks-long effects on Genoa City, the episode pledges to ease that tension. The Prince Charming with poisoned roses, Cain Ashby. On the other side of town, Cain Ashby, the episode's purported Prince Charming, takes center stage. His biggest weapon has always been his charisma. Cain has used charisma to make friends, patch up differences, and, more often than not, manipulate circumstances to his advantage ever since he arrived in Genoa City. Lily Winters, the woman he has repeatedly harmed but whose love has always been his greatest addiction, is his target this time. The timing of Cain's charm attack is crucial. Throughout their marriage, Cain pulled Lily through a vicious cycle of deceit, heartache, and mistrust, which she has long struggled to escape. Viewers applauded her bravery as she refocused her priorities, restored her profession, and embraced independence. However, Cain is aware of Lily's weak points, including her desire for familial security, her susceptibility to nostalgia, and her kind heart that never stops hoping that people may change. Is this just another act in Cain's complex show, or has he actually changed? We are reminded by spoilers that Cain is still involved in nefarious activities. He is far from rehabilitated, as seen by his recent solicitation of Billy, Sally, and Phyllis to take part in shady activities using dubious AI technology. Cain, however, assumes the role of the repentant man looking for atonement in Lily's presence. He presents himself as the misinterpreted ex-boyfriend who merely wishes to put things right. Furthermore, Lily may find it more difficult to resist his appeal than she would like to acknowledge, because she still recalls the enjoyable moments they spent together. The layers of deceit in this plot are what make it so captivating. At first glance, Cain appears to be courting Lily with compassion and remorse. In reality, he might be using her as a shield in the hopes that her affiliation will improve his reputation or provide him with inside knowledge of Newman Chancellor tactics. However, Lily might not be as innocent as Cain believes. Lily may be entering this situation with her eyes wide open because Victor Newman himself urged her to get closer to Cain in order to learn about his plans. Is she attempting to outsmart Cain? Could she be surreptitiously reporting back to Victor while seducing him into a false sense of security? Cain's comeback as Prince Charming underscores a broader theme. Appearances can be deceitful, regardless of Lily's intentions. The danger of the repercussions when the truth is revealed increases with Cain's level of charm. Lily may be the pawn that helps bring him to light, or she may be the sad victim of yet another betrayal. In any case, Cain's portrayal of the endearing outlaw keeps the viewer captivated, divided between disliking his deceit and appreciating his ability to always get back on his feet. Mariah and Daniel, a face-to-face exchange of secrets and hearts. The altercation between Daniel Jr. and Mariah Copeland forms the third pillar of Thursday's drama. These two personalities hardly ever cross paths on paper. They don't naturally have any familial ties or commercial rivalries, and their circles rarely cross beyond mutual friends. Their encounter feels so unexpected because of this, which makes it ripe for explosive potential. The weight of secrets and regrets has been causing Mariah's world to fall apart. Mariah's decisions and admissions have caused a rift in her relationship with Tessa Porter, who was once the pillar that kept her afloat. When she confessed to trying to murder someone, Tessa was shocked and extremely uneasy. Mariah has a persistent undercurrent of paranoia brought on by her remorse over her acts and her fear of being discovered. She feels as though the walls are closing in on her and that she is losing control of her story. Daniel comes in. Daniel has been busy putting his life back together and mending broken family ties, but he has also noticed that he is pulled to Tessa. Mariah is unable to ignore the tension that Daniel spending time with Tessa has created, whether it is out of genuine compassion or something else entirely. The idea that another man, particularly one with Daniel's history of complex relationships, may jeopardize her marriage is unacceptable to a woman who already feels like her world is falling apart. As a result, Mariah calls Daniel in for a secret discussion and requests that Tessa keep everything confidential. A power move, the request to meet with Daniel behind Tessa's back is tinged with fear, envy, and implicit accusations. Will Mariah bring up Daniel's love for her wife with him? Or will she plead with him to act as Tessa's quiet protector while she sorts out her own mess? In any case, Mariah's feelings will surface in unexpected ways for Daniel. This encounter poses a moral conundrum for Daniel. He would attempt to hide any hidden feelings he may have for Tessa behind the pretense of friendship. However, it is practically difficult for anyone to keep the truth from Mariah due to her keen intuition. She will take note of his nonverbal cues, read his body language, and press him until he says something, anything, that either supports her assumptions or provides her with leverage. Daniel might be taken aback by Mariah's own admissions, though. She can unintentionally put Daniel in risk by implying or explicitly admitting her previous transgression. Is he loyal to Tessa by keeping her secret? Does he present Tessa with the facts in order to shield her from more serious harm? Or does he completely separate himself, refusing to be dragged into Mariah's whirlpool of paranoia and guilt? The triangle of influence encircling Tessa is more important in this conflict than Mariah and Daniel as people. Fundamentally, it poses the straightforward yet impactful query: who genuinely cares for Tessa's best interests? Mariah, who still spirals despite loving her, or Daniel, who might offer consistency but runs the risk of obfuscating emotional distinctions? The consequences of this encounter will influence Daniel's destiny in Genoa City, Mariah's redemption story, and Tessa's future. Final thoughts. SOS, Prince Charming, and Conflict. A trio of plot lines in Thursday's episode of The Young and the Restless underscore the soap opera's timeless appeal. The constant pull of familial loyalty and the effort to defend a loved one even when they refuse to defend themselves are symbolized by Jack's SOS. Cain's Prince Charming routine highlights the perilous appeal of charm, particularly when it conceals deceit and hidden agendas. Furthermore, the layers of fear, envy, and latent wants that impede even the strongest relationships are revealed by Mariah's encounter with Daniel. Every arc embodies a fundamental tenet of Y&R. Every decision has repercussions, loyalties change, and appearances deceive. Viewers are reminded that in Genoa City, no one is ever immune from betrayal. No secret remains concealed long, and every charm offensive eventually comes with a cost as the characters navigate these emotional minefields.